the law of least effort. Have you ever had the experience where everything in life just seems to magically come together? You're not even trying, everything just kind of flows. Manifestation just happens. Well, this is what's known as the law of least effort in effect. If you look around at nature, it doesn't really try. Nature doesn't try, it just is. And what happens when a plant's growing is that it's just following the path of least resistance. And all of nature's doing this. The plant is just kind of growing up towards the sun in the path of least resistance. All of nature just kind of happens naturally. It doesn't put in any effort, it just is. And it is actually very abundant that way. There's no lack of abundance in nature. Nature is full of plant life, bacteria, it's teeming with life. But we as humans, we get into this whole idea that we have to put in all this effort and work extremely hard and struggle against the way things are. And we end up tying ourselves in all kinds of knots because of that. Well, once we tap into the law of least effort, which was an idea first brought forth by Deepak Chopra, we begin to realize that life isn't actually that hard. You know, we're taught to think that life's not fair, life's hard, life's not easy. We bring all of these concepts and paradigms into our way of being, and we end up struggling. It's no wonder that we end up struggling. But once we start to practice this law, we get into tune with the natural abundance of nature, the universe, and life can become very simple. And in fact, you can follow this path of least resistance and enjoy a very abundant life. It's not about being lazy, it's about following the natural path. So how do you do that? How do you use the law of least effort to provide for all of your needs, to live an abundant life, to be fulfilled and happy without struggling? There's 3 keys. Key number 1 is acceptance. Complete and total acceptance of yourself, the way your life is, this present moment exactly as it is right now. Acceptance. Acceptance says, I don't need to change anything to make it better. Everything is perfect just as it is. And when you start from that point, you don't start from the point of deficiency, you're tapping into that law of abundance because you're acknowledging that abundance is already within you and all around you, and you're just noticing it. So number 1 is acceptance. Completely accept your life just as it is now. Start there. Number 2 is responsibility. Take full responsibility for your life and everything going on in it. So if an accident happens, someone else hurts you, if you got no money, if you're not happy with your situation, if your job sucks, whatever it may be, if your relationship fails, take responsibility for that. Number 2 point of the law of least effort is you take total responsibility for everything going on in your life. You don't do this whole blame game anymore of the government did it. It was my bad upbringing. It was, it's the economy. It's other people, they're the problem. No. Number 2, principle of tapping into the law of least effort to make your life very simple and easy and natural is accepting full responsibility for everything. That means you take responsibility for everything. If someone crashes into you and it's their fault, you take responsibility for that. Sounds kind of contradictory, but this is what you need to do if you're going to tap into the law of least effort. It's going to make your life easier, starting to take responsibility for everything. And then number 3 is defenselessness. Now this is a big one, particularly if you're someone like me who likes to share all these really wacky theories and talk about things that aren't really mainstream. Defenselessness is where you have no need to defend your perspective, your point of view. You literally let go of your need to do that. So if someone comes up to you and starts telling you that what you're talking about is bullshit, you let them think that. It's cool. You don't need to defend yourself all the time. In fact, you don't need to defend your point of view at all. When you tap into the law of least effort, you accept that everyone has their own way of seeing, and that's absolutely fine. You can just be content in the knowledge that you have in your particular understanding. You don't need to defend your point of view. It's about getting out of your ego and letting other people think what they want to think. Defenselessness. No need to defend you, your way of seeing, and yourself because you're tapped into something much greater. So those are the 3 principles of the law of least effort. I found that a very interesting concept brought forth by Deepak Chopra. It really feels right. when I heard about that, I really resonated with that, and I've started to practice this in my own life. And I can certainly say it's making things a lot easier and a lot more natural for me. So I hope you enjoyed that, start to practice that, and watch your life begin to change.